Good afternoon, London. My name's Hina, and I welcome all of you, if you're watching live or if you're going to watch later, to the Master Shah Dow Center here in London. And today I have a very super special show for you today. Now, the Master Shah Dow Center, since March 2020, because of everything that's been happening in the world with COVID, has been under lockdown restrictions. So only certain few people in London, the guidelines were only people who work are able to be present, physically present in the specific workplaces. So to celebrate this Friday, starting this Open Spiritual Channels workshop, we actually have a very special offering for everyone. So no matter where you are, you can actually be in person with us for 2 days. We're renting a hotel ballroom where you can be in person with everyone, the participants, the teachers, the calligraphies. It's going to be a very special space. So for the first time since COVID started, since March 2020, the London Center is having their first in-person workshop. And so to celebrate this event, I have one of the most amazing teachers for opening our spiritual channels, David Lush. So welcome, David.
Thank you, Hina. We're so excited about this event because people are able to gather in this high vibrational Tao source field and be able to benefit in opening their spiritual channels at an accelerated pace. And people can meditate for decades around, different techniques and systems, and maybe never or very little or rarely open their spiritual channels. And for some, maybe it takes them many days and weeks till they feel that clarity or that intuition for what they're looking guidance or an answer for. I've heard of some that occasionally they'll just hear like a one word or a message. And many, they never have these experiences. And yet, with opening the spiritual channels here, I've seen tens of thousands of people open them. I've obviously been leading or co-leading events, training programs, and more, probably for 15 years, plus or minus. And I have just witnessed so many people open their spiritual channels. And we've done it very successfully online. And yet we are seeing more and more people want to come back in person as well. So we got this hybrid approach. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity to at least do 2 days in person because, to be practicing, chanting in that field, it's just so powerful. We're very excited.
I know, I feel the excitement. I've actually been away from London the past couple of weeks. And as soon as I walked in, I was like, oh, I felt the vibration and the frequency of all the calligraphies. But two, I really felt the vibration, the excitement of not just people in London, but we do have people who are actually flying in. And so it is my deepest and highest pleasure to welcome Caroline from Germany, who's actually flown in for our Open Spiritual Channels workshop. So welcome, Caroline.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome. I'm so happy to be here. Yes, just arrived yesterday.
Okay.
I'm actually combining 2 different workshops. I'm on a business workshop, like 3 days, and hopping into the Open Spiritual Channels workshop this weekend, and I'm really excited. It's one of my favorite workshops.
Have you flown anywhere since pre-lockdown yourself, or?
Yeah, I did.
So you were traveling. Yeah, you like to still get out. That's good. Okay. I've done the same thing. I've been to a few places myself. But for you have been studying with Master Shah or his teachers or the system to empower, to heal, to open your channels since what year? What year was it?
2012.
So a decade now.
2012.
And you are a certified Tao Soul communicator.
Yes, I'm very honored to be
So she's
here.
a professional level soul communicator for many years now. And so, but you keep doing Open Spiritual Channels events. So why do you continue to do
That's a good question. Why? It's like I keep comparing it a little bit with my business is producing a machine or a tool that is actually necessary to clean the pipes underground. So without clean pipes, a city would not be, you could not even live in a city because you would not have, flowing
Mhm.
pipes. So when I was born, I had open spiritual channels to a certain degree, and I was always looking for more. And when I met Master Shah, I realized there is so much more, but so much more.
Mhm.
And every retreat, it's just getting bigger. Like the picture we have about the world is limited to a certain degree. When it comes to our channels, if we're not able to use our spiritual channels, we are very limited in perceiving the world. Like if there's like a danger ahead, for example, for my family or for my business, I can see it literally with my third eye. And I just do not take that decision for sure. And yeah, for sure, David told you about how beautiful it is to speak and communicate with Buddhas or with a saint. To receive message from Mother Earth for me is always also very special. For me, living without open spiritual channels is hard to imagine,
painful?
painful even. And this is why I'm really looking forward to this weekend, because I'm already excited. I can feel there's something special in the air. And yeah, there's always something to learn and to receive new information that can benefit our whole life. And through, when we open our channels, we are able to perceive them ourselves and do not depend so much on guidance from someone else, but we receive the guidance ourselves.
Mhm. Yeah, that is very true. And it's funny, Carol. I love that you just said that. You can feel it in the air, because I literally just said that before you came in, because I myself was away. And so today's the first day. And I literally said, I can feel it in the air, the excitement of it. So, and that's a beautiful practical usage of having your open spiritual channels. And also what I really enjoyed is that your practical profession is cleaning pipes. And that's kind of what's the Tao Calligraphy Healing Field session opening channels. They're also cleaning pipes. They're also clearing our channels so we can get this beautiful information flowing. So let's talk about I have a story of how my spiritual channels helped me in a bind while I was away. So having open spiritual channels, like Caroline mentioned, and actually many others, they have gotten warnings about potentially life-threatening conditions that they may have stepped in if it wasn't for their open channels. So that's just one super important purpose. But even for everyday life, so for my example, we'll each give an example. So my example was I just got back from my parents' place. And so my dad got a new car. And I've been driving like a Tesla over here in London, and where you just get out and you walk away and it'll just lock itself. Like I don't have to push a button, I just have to walk away. It's a very convenient car. And so my dad got a new car. So it was my first time driving it. And I was like trying to figure things out. I was like, where's the on button? Or like, how do I turn this on? So I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Okay. So it's like kind of taking a step back and remembering, like, you have to push the button and brakes and all that stuff. And so I parked and I got out of the car and I was walking away. And I'm like, is the car off? And I was by myself because I was meeting up a girlfriend. And I was like, I don't think the car's off. Why isn't the car off? I'm walking away. The car's still on. What's going on with this car? And then I got a real quick flash and I was like, whoa, what was that? And so I got in the car. I was like, obviously, I'm missing something. So I was looking for the off on, but I was like, where the steering wheel's on the other side of the car. It's a whole thing in the States versus England. So I'm like, where's the off button? I couldn't find it. And I'm like, okay, let me just take a second. And I just like subconsciously asked. I was like, where's the off button, or what am I missing? And then the same flash, the visual image came to me again. It stayed a little bit longer and it showed me the button that I pressed. And I'm like, that's right, I did push a button. And so I looked, like I actually physically got in the car and I looked and I was like, there's the button, because I couldn't see it because the steering wheel was hiding it. And I turned it off and then I walked away. Otherwise, it would have been a problem. Leaving a car on, probably gotten stolen, I don't know what. But and I really, in that instance, I really, really appreciated having that message come to me, because I just couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. And first time in a new car, after 3 years driving on the other side of the road with the steering wheel on the other side, it was all. So that was my most recent experience. Okay, David, what about you? Give us a practical and fun example of you having open spiritual channels saving you from some trouble.
Oh, saving me from trouble.
Or an issue.
Well, I want to share one that was more like enjoyment.
Okay, let's do that one.
And so I was recently, like Hina's saying, spiritual channels is practical. Of course, we want to communicate with saints and Buddhas and angels and receive wisdom. But then if you don't understand the wisdom, you don't know how to apply it, then there's a little gap between you and the message. So for me, I recently went back to Berlin, Germany. I took some holidays. And even though I was on holidays, because I lived there for so many years, I had so many students there, I wanted to see them in like a gathering. It wasn't like an official event or anything. And so I checked in my spiritual channels, when is the best day and time to get together? And I heard it was the Sunday, the day before I would fly back. And so what I did was I checked the time, and we put the message out 10 days before. And you never know who's going to show up. Informal gathering, no registration, who comes, who doesn't come, who's on holidays, who's not. I haven't been there to be with at least the student base, probably in 3+ years. And what happened was there were about 43 people just showed up, and the hearts were like opening, like the tears in the eyes, the gratitude, the love. We were chanting love, peace, harmony, and Tiergarten at the Global Stones Project. If you've been to Tiergarten and you know about the Global Stones Project, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you don't know what I'm talking about, but you can Google it. But anyways, it's really close to Brandenburger Tor, the big gate, And with that, it was just like so aligned, and so much healing took place, so much transformation. And so when you can find the best day and time in your channels to do anything, it can bring love, harmony, it can bring people together. So in a way, you could say I didn't pick the wrong day and time, right? But I asked what was the right day and time, and that's what I got, and it was so special. And for you, you're in London.
Yay!
Yes,
Welcome to London.
I was just thinking about a story, because there are literally so many. What is for me, like in general, always a miracle every time is when I'm, life is ups and downs. And when I do not feel well, we sometimes do not know what's going on, And then I literally at night, before I go to sleep, I go do soul communication to ask Normia, like I feel very close with Kuan Yin. So I asked Kuan Yin if she can please give me a message. What's going on with me is literally my question, because sometimes I just don't know what's going on. And every time it touches my heart so deeply, I normally cry, and I feel so much better afterwards. It's like a weight was put away from me, because, in English you say, doesn't matter.
You can
Grammar.
say it in German.
And that for me is the biggest gift.
Hmm.
Because if you can help yourself, I'm responsible for a family. I'm leading a company. It's like you need to be aware how to take care about yourself.
Hmm.
And this is what it helps me to maintain my I would call it emotional stability. If I receive guidance from a saint and a Buddha, that helps me so much that I can be
And you're a
grounded.
mother of how many children?
3.
And how do you use your spiritual channels
That
as
was
a mother?
Yeah, that was the other story I had in mind, because my I have twins. They're 15 now, and they were on another school like 2 years ago, and they were not very happy. They were just not. And then I asked for guidance. What's best for them? And then I received clear guidance. This other school is best school for them. They will flourish. They will be happy. And I get goosebumps right now. I get goosebumps again. And then I said, okay, that's the direction. So we're gonna do this. My daughter was really going against the message, because she just saw it with her mind. She wants to stay with her friends and everything. So I had to kind of push her, like really push her to leave the old school. And I thought, oh, is that the right decision and everything? It turned out that they are both so happy in their new school. They're having like so beautiful friends, like lots of friends, like the surrounding, everything is honestly way better than before. But that was precious guidance, like precious.
It's wonderful. When you were speaking about the schools, I remember I have a student now for 4+ years, and she actually was from another country. And she got, paid consultations with me. And her questions were, I want to leave country A. Okay. And should I go to this country, this country, this country, and what city? And it actually turned out, I think she was looking like at New York, Toronto, and London. And I heard, and I did the flow that come to London. And in her mind, she was thinking New York, maybe Toronto, because there's a relative there. But something was also about London. And so I said, I'm only delivering the message. And she had all these questions about her daughter, because her daughter's in high school. And I got that. And so then she made the decision to follow the guidance. London was the highest reading. And then she started giving me all the schools she researched. Like, where should I live? I said, okay, I got this area. Go. She gave me the schools for her daughter, and she ultimately settled on one. There were more than one, but very highly approved one. Her and her daughter are so happy here, the happiest they've been. The daughter is the happiest she's ever been in her whole life. Doesn't even want to move back to the old country. That age, you can be like, has great friends, great school, great everything. And when you have accurate messages and you follow them, life opens and flourishes. And it's so precious. It's so powerful. And it's just such a gift. It really is such a gift. And with that, why do you want to open your channels? Of course, you want to be happier, healthier, more aligned, more in alignment, more love, forgiveness, compassion. It's for healing, avoiding disasters, dangers. It's for transformation and much, much more. It doesn't mean if you have open spiritual channels, nothing that you may view as unpleasant or negative. It's not like that can't still happen. Of course, this is life. Yet how you go through these events can be very different. How you handle them. And when you have that connection, it's like your spiritual senses are opening. You can spiritually see and hear, and it's so different. Otherwise, it's like you're limited. You can see and hear in the physical world, but you're blind and deaf in the spiritual world, at least in this body. Of course, your soul can do this. Your soul's from the soul world. But the key is to bridge those worlds, because when you can bridge the spiritual world with the physical world, you can live as the being you are meant to be. You can work on accomplishing your life purpose. You can work on your spiritual journey and your physical journey together. You can work in alignment with the universe. You can become the best you can be, and you can be happier along the way. So I welcome you all. Join us for the Open Spiritual Channels Retreat. 5 days, starting Friday, this July 29th to Tuesday, August 2nd. You can be all online. We have people that just do it online. We've done that for years. We also have an option Saturday and Sunday in person, the rest online. Like Carolyn, she flew over. I remember Carolyn, she's been in many events with Master Sha, also with different master teachers. I always remember this event, and it's by some lake in Munich, but it wasn't Lake Munich. It was a lake near Munich. Yeah. And there were many students there, and it was just very powerful. And so with that, everyone, if you are hesitating, don't, just join us. There's video replay. You will love it. Amazing teachings, practices, openings, blessings, and much, much, much more. The team will put up the link. Click on it. Join us.
Okay, so thank you so much, Carolyn, for coming in, for flying in, for doing this interview, and for inspiring all of you out there who maybe want to spend a weekend in London. Please come. More than welcome.
Fly over.
As David mentioned, this is you have two options. You can either do all 5 days online. There will be recordings. So if you're working on a couple of those days, don't worry about it. You have recordings for 2 weeks. And choice number 2, being with us in person, feeling that vibration and frequency. There's going to be gongs, there's going to be drums, there's going to be calligraphies, there's going to be the teachers in person, there's going to be chanting, there's going to be participants from all over the world, like Caroline from Germany. So please make your plans. You have, if you can come in person, you have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to sort it out, because Saturday and Sunday is in person in a beautiful venue. And we guarantee the setup, the space, the energy, it's going to be one that you want to be there in person while you have this opportunity. So I thank you, everybody. And just one other thing to add is that if you want to travel and you have a friend who's maybe not so into it, or you think maybe she'll be into it, if it's their very, very, very first time at a Master Sha event, they get a very special fee. So please, if you need a travel buddy and you have one, you can bring them too. It's for the travel fee. Can we announce it, or do we wait for you'll get the email about that special fee if you have a friend who's never done any workshop at all. So we have you covered. We have the venue, you can have a travel buddy with you, and everything else will be taken care of. So I thank you so, so much. Please click on the links. Thank you for all the beautiful comments. Thank you, Johannes, Linda, Anand, and some of the others that commented. It's not on my screen right now. Please comment and please share. Share this video to anyone that you think would benefit from open channels, or someone who wants to develop their channels further, someone who wants to hone their abilities to get more accurate and deep messages. Because when you can give accurate and deep messages, not only for yourself, but for other people, you are helping others be happier and healthier. And why wouldn't you want to do that? So thank you so much. My name's Hina, coming to you from the Master Sha Dao Center in London. And I thank my guests, David Lush and Caroline Riesler. Thank you so much. And we hope to see each other very, very soon. Bye.